Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
Welcome to the Orange is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, joined by my co-host, Zim. Zim, say what's up.
Hello, world. How's everybody feeling out there tonight and who they land? We are live in the building. Is this a live show, Ace?
Nah, we're not live.
All right, I just saw the word live, so I'm saying live because we have live energy tonight. How about that?
Facts. So we got to get into it, bro. New stripes. My man Zim Hude was there, so I'm just gonna pass it to you, bro. It was a dope event and everything. What was just like your thoughts from just the overall event itself and just the jerseys?
The overall event itself. Before I get to the event itself in the jersey, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that showed me love in Cincinnati. Like, no matter where I went, it could have been a hotel, it could have been the street, it could have been anywhere. Like, live from the trap. Shout out to my man Lamb. Shout out to anybody that showed me like love like the whole weekend. Like, my man Shine took me around a little bit. Like, there's so many different things like like the event and all that stuff where people just was like, oh, you in town? And then they just automatically show me love. Or I would go eat or something like that. And they'd be like, oh, bro, like, let me take a picture and stuff like that. So, like, even before the event, I was kind of worried that a lot of people probably would just see, like, all these pictures and stuff of me or whatever, because I was supposed to say, like, super, super tight lip. But if somebody asking me for a picture or just saying, hey, what's up? Like, I'm not going to be like, no, I can't take no picture. Like, I'm not famous or nothing. So I was a little bit worried about that, but everybody was so cool to me. Like, it's part of the reason why I became a Bengals fan. I wish I could have told Elizabeth that. It's like early on, like I was going to Bengals games and I wasn't even a huge Bengals fan, but everybody always showed me love there. So I just want to give a special shout out to Cincinnati. That whole weekend, anybody that seen me, like, you could just, I'm telling you, when I came back, I said to myself, if the energy is like this right now, and we're not even playing a game. Right. I've been all around the world, bro. Like, I done been anywhere you could think of. I've been to every island. I done been to Vegas. I done been to everything. If we're winning in Cincinnati, it's gonna be lit up like Las Vegas. But it's like, that was part of the thing I was talking to everybody about all weekend. It's like, you gotta carry yourself like you want to win, and sometimes it might not happen that way, but you got to move forward. And the one thing about all of our fans is that we've lost for so long. And what do we got? 5 straight losing seasons. I think that, like, part of what I'm learning as I go further on this journey with you is that a lot of players, a lot of coaches watch this stuff. Right. So you got to think, like, all this doubt that's creeping into your mind and different things like that, they're watching that stuff too. Fourth quarter or stuff, like, they might not be thinking that straight up, but subconsciously, I think that's a factor. So energy was lit, drinks was free, everything was flowing, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good. And whether you win or lose, I just would encourage everybody to keep that same energy. Like, shout out to Copa brunch. Like, I could name all these different spots. Like, Cincinnati is fun, man. Like, people were just saying, I know Yaz had some videos and people were saying, like, man, I can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to move there. And I'm telling the Bengals, like, look, this is what we could do. Like people want to make this a destination. I told the reporters. So at the event, that was your original question. I went to the event. I told reporters, I said, which was insane. I'm telling them, and they're probably looking at me like, who is this dude? But I'm telling them, I said, hey, look, I know a lot of y'all probably don't care about the jerseys, right? Yeah, none of y'all probably even going to wear the jerseys. But your sons, your grandsons, your kids, and what I'm calling Burrow babies, they are going to wear the jerseys. So y'all better turn up on this stuff right now. Let everybody know that they're fire, because this is what you're going to see for the next couple months. This is what you're going to see coming up this season. And and I had a great talk with Dan Horde. He was like, I don't wear jerseys, but I understand that the kids are going to be wearing it. And he was very, very into it, like going through the details and stuff with me. Super, super cool about it, even though he knows he's not going to wear a jersey. And I'm just telling everybody, like, with this attitude and that mind frame that these jerseys are important, or different things in Cincinnati are important, it resonates at home. And ultimately, if you win and they do good stuff in these jerseys, I was telling the reporters, it's going to help all of your lives out. It's going to help out your family ultimately. So I need everybody to turn up. And then at that moment, I think they probably like, Zim, shut up. Like, you're probably talking too much. And then they cut on some music. But then it helped me though, because I felt like it was lit then, because then the music was playing. So then everybody was a little bit more looser or whatever. So, you know, like I just carried that with me the whole time without being disrespectful to nobody or nothing crazy like that. But it was really cool to see guys like the Iceman, Jeff up front. Like, I'm going in line. I had to rush. I was on Jeff's show yesterday. I was telling him I had to rush. But you know, there's some real people out here. My man Beasley, who I always see online and everything like that. It was some dudes that, you know, I don't get a chance to see. Anthony Beasley. Some people I don't get the chance to see, but they were in line, you know, ready for the jerseys. Some of these people probably called out of work, you know. So Bengals fans are, you know, this is a real deal. And I always say, Bengals, you got to be a real special person to be a Bengals fan. Can you imagine coming off 5 losing seasons and you telling your boss, "Hey, I can't go to work right now. You got to make up a fake excuse because I gotta go get some jerseys on Monday morning and stand in line at 8 o'clock." You know what I'm saying? Like, we was up early. That was early, bro. It was a nice line, like a shoe release was out that joint. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even have to do that. You know, you didn't have to stand in line to get a jersey, as you see. Ace right here with the jersey on. So there's many different tales from the experience that I picked up on, but the Bengals treated us like so great. I'm very, very thankful for Sean and his staff. I'm very, very thankful for Elizabeth the Queen, outstanding person, super relatable. And although you might look at her and say, well, she's super rich, or she comes from wealth and all this other stuff like that. I could tell you in my heart-to-heart conversations with Elizabeth Blackburn, she keeps the losses and the pain that Bengals fans, she wears it right on her heart, and it's not a problem like expressing that. And
is she Team Chase?
She I don't think she wanted to commit to it, but you know, I'm a very persuasive person.
You are.
So there were some people that were in the room that witnessed. You probably had to ask like Bengalorian and other people right there that heard some of the tale of me and her conversation. Right. Some of like one of our we had a couple conversations, but one of the most important ones, I thought, Joe was in the background, just finished throwing. I'm talking to her. We're at a bar in a suite, and we're just talking, and she's telling me about the plight of her growing up, where she is. And for as many people that talk probably really bad about her grandfather, as you can expect, she had to be tough. Right. And you couldn't just go out and go beat up somebody and then create a storyline and put that on your family's legacy. So there's, everybody's got problems and different things that you probably never even think about. But me hearing it from her, like, she's just like, I'm so daggone tired of, some of these narratives or some of these things or whatever. And I can assure you, maybe everything won't go as what I planned, or they're not going to get the people that I want. Because certainly, her coming just into the position, she wouldn't have any say so on it. But I could tell you, she cares. So anybody that's saying that, like Mike Brown doesn't care or anything like that, like, she didn't just get that from nothing. Like she didn't just wake up with passion. Like you gotta have that in your heart, and you probably got it from somebody around you early on or something like that. And not to go too deep in that conversation, I just really felt like it lets me give her and the organization the benefit of the doubt on different things. Although I was very quick to point out if some things aren't right, or if some things I don't like or I think could be done better, I might tweet it out. I might come on our show. I might say those things. But at the end of the day, she's real. And, that gives me the benefit of the doubt, because, like, I think people lose sight of that. They get online and just say anything like, yeah. I've read a lot of bad things about her grandfather. So can you imagine going online and seeing people talk about your grandfather,
or like what they would have said to her, like when she was in school, because she went to Cincinnati Country Day. And I think it's dope that she grabbed it by the horn. She embraced it. She came back and was like, I'm about to change the narrative. And I think that that's the dopest part about it is, some people in that situation, they may have shied away from it, and it's like she was like, "Nah, I'm about to grab this. I'm about to change the narrative myself," and I think that that's so dope about it.
I told her that. I said straight up, like, listen, there's a lot of people, like the reason why I'm a real Bengals fan too is that there are a lot of parallels to the Bengals like losses and stuff, and that I kind of pair with my life, like almost selfishly, like different times when I should have won a Super Bowl in life. I look at 2005, things happened in my life that didn't go my way. 2015, like these are things that that are super relatable. Football is just like walking outside to me and like living every day. Like, so in that aspect, I just wanted to make sure that I let her know that, like, like I understand like these different things, and I don't know.
That's fire, bro.
Like that's just something that I, like I just think of every day in my, in my life. And I think the Joe Burrow post afterwards. Let me just tell you, all right. So I fly into the city. I hang out with people. I shout out to my man Evan McPhillips. Like we went out with Pro Football Focus. We did some stuff. Did a lot of things, that night. Nothing illegal. People did a lot of things, like just hanging out in Cincinnati. So just come back the next day. I probably met up with people throughout the day and stuff because a lot of this is a blur. It was like Vegas, bro. So then we come to the reveal. We don't know who's going to be there. I don't know that fans are going to be there. I don't know these different things are going to be there. I just only know my point of contacts. So we go there. We go into Paul Brown. So I see Bangalorian for the first time. I see my girl Whitney. I seen Yaz, Seth, all these guys, whatever that I see online all the time for the first time. Seth Reese with the fire mocks, So and Will Lutz, I saw him for the first time too. So in Commissioner Yaz. So we go to the locker room area before we walk in. I'm about to get the cameras out and everything. They're like, nope, everybody put y'all phones in the locker room. But my personality, I'm like, I've seen all of this stuff. They got Bengals footballs and all this stuff. I'm like, can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? I think everybody was just so in awe of the moment, but I just felt like in my brain, like I should have always been there. So we go through the whole thing. My whole life, I felt like I should have been there. I mean, I don't know the steps that got there, but they take us to Paul Brown Stadium. We're running routes on the football field. I mean, I stopped for a second and just got on the ground and just pulled some grass and put it in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like these different moments like that I'll never forget. The sun just like came out. You're walking through and seeing all these different pictures and history. It's so many different things that I just remember. But I think I kept on harping on. I was like, dang, I can't take a picture. So we do that. We come out and then we actually go up and go look at like the room where they were designing a lot of the different designs and stuff like that. Elizabeth gives me like a 1-of-1 mock of the signature from Paul Brown. It was just a lot of good memories in that room because she was going around just telling her story. She went to the store herself and like picked everybody out drinks and stuff, like all these different like Cincinnati drinks and stuff. I don't know the names of all them, but I don't really drink beer, but she drank like different ones. It was like, hey, I got something. Like she did it herself. Like nobody did. Like she went to the store and bought this stuff and came in with like 2 cooler bags and stuff.
That's what's up.
So like I thought that was like so crazy. And me, I'm still like, oh, can I have that? Like, and I mean, she was like, yeah, you can have that. Like, she gave me some stuff like, that I thought was really cool. I met her sister too. That was really dope. I feel like nobody ever talks about her, but she was there. She was really cool. So then, after we did that, then they proceeded to show us the jerseys. And I mean, I was blown away because of COVID protocol. A lot of people ask me this, like, well, where was Ocho Cinco and where was Joe and stuff like that? They did that a week ago before. Right. So we didn't have any players there when we were there.
Right.
So then we look at the jerseys and everything. I mean, can't take a picture or anything, but it's exactly like me and you said before. They're the jerseys that leak. It just was bad lighting and a terrible picture from before. So we do that, and then we take those pictures with the jerseys. Got a chance to sit in the same spot that Joe had. I like to think that I'm the first fan. I could be wrong. I might be the first Bengal man in history to wear the white Joe number 9 because no one else was allowed to put on a jersey, right? They have their shoot the week before. Now, somebody could have came in there and put a jersey on. Somebody could have stole a jersey or something like that. I don't know about or whatever. But as far as like pictured in history, I think I'm the first man with the white Bengals jersey right now. Because nobody else, even with our group, picked white. I picked the white Joe Burrow 9. And then I didn't know in Joe's photo shoot, he picks the white number 9, you know. So I just thought that was a real special moment for me because when I looked at it, I was like, nobody's ever seen these, and I'm putting these on, and I'm like, hey, like this is kind of like a part of history. So for them to have those cool pictures and stuff, I thought that was really dope because I'm like,
yeah, that was fun.
You know, like I could show my grandson if I live long enough to have a grandson, like, you know, I could show them like, hey, look, I was the first one to, you know, hold up these new stripes. And this was a moment in time, like when Joe just came off an injury. Like I got a crazy story to tell people now, like off that. So we do that, and then we eat food and we're just chilling, talking. That's when all these heart-to-heart conversations happen. You know, I then go out again another night. It's lit, whatever. They thinking like, Zim, you're not going to be able to get up tomorrow morning. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm living a rock star life. This is what I've been doing my whole life. I wake right up. Me and the gang, we all pull up, you know, at Paul Brown first thing in the morning. We go through that. The media is there. Everybody's there. Anthony Munoz is there. Dave Lapham is there. My man James Rapine is there. Paul Daner, Ben Baby, the whole crew, Lindsey Patterson, everybody's there. So we're talking to those people, and you know, it was a good moment. Afterwards, I got a chance to do a live with you and Mike Daniels. So we went to the pro shop just to touch it, see the jersey a little bit closer. Because when it was on a mannequin, I didn't want to be the person to knock it over.
Right.
So,
I saw somebody knock it over with the arm. Yeah.
There was hella people knocking it over. Like, I don't know what they was trying to do, like move it or something. I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. So I go back to the thing and, you know, look at the jerseys. But, you know, I just thought it was really dope. Bengals looked out for us 100 times. I cannot thank them enough. And it's something I'll never forget for the rest of my life for sure. What was your first reaction, I guess? Like, I don't know. Where did you see it first? Did you see it on my live? I know I went live, and I don't think the fans went live.
I think the first time that I saw the jerseys was when they dropped them because I had the Twitter notifications turned on for the Bengals.
Okay.
So when they dropped the video of Ocho Cinco, I seen it like right when they
you know why they dropped it that early though? Because they had a time frame. Like now, this is another behind the scenes thing. I was supposed to be the first person to kind of go live like on my Instagram with like, you know, like as a fan, I guess.
Right.
That's why I had on Instagram and Twitter. So if you're watching this, you might have saw it on Instagram or Twitter. But Bengals UK had a time. They had a communication on the time difference thing, and he dropped or whatever. Whoever's involved with them dropped. So now we have another leak. So then they were forced to just say, boom, let's put it out. Because that was about 20, 30 minutes before you see Elizabeth Blackburn doing all the stuff. They didn't want it that morning or whatever. Like they were, I'm not going to speak for them, but I just saw some things and I don't think that they intended it to go that way. So that dropped because I looked on my phone. I'm like, how they showing the jerseys when he walked down there yet? And so that was kind of crazy.
Nah, that's crazy because I wasn't because I was at work and I was hearing it. So when I seen it go off on my phone, then I looked and I was like, oh, bet. So I didn't even see the Bengals UK joint yet, but I saw that. And then I think I saw that you went live on Twitter. I think right when I saw that video, like right after that, I saw your video on Twitter. So then I was watching your video on Twitter where I think you was talking to somebody and I think you were looking at like the mannequin and stuff like that. You were up close on it. You were having a conversation with somebody, I think, next to you. You was just talking to like everybody. And
it was a lot,
like, you was breaking down the uniform. So I appreciated that because it was everybody started talking about the white pants with the orange stripes, and you were talking about it as everyone was kind of talking about it on Twitter. Like Joe Goodberry and everybody was like making it a big deal, and it was perfect because you were talking about it, and I think it just gave people like. When you look at all the jerseys, I feel like we all had the same thoughts. It's like, first, I think people looked at like the orange and black combo because it's like when you see that combo, it's like, man, that's super hard. Then you notice the whites. So
You
like
talking
while you're
about
looking at
you
the
talking
orange
about
and
orange
black,
top? You talking about orange top, black
with the
bottom?
black pants.
Okay.
Then when you start to look, you see the white one, and you like, whoo, that white on white is like clean. And then when you see, I think it's the orange with the white and orange pants, it's like, woo, that's hard too. And then like for me, it didn't hit me until the end. Like after I started watching your thing, I jumped on, and my guy Nardo went live in the pro shop on Facebook. So when he did that, at first I was like, yeah, let me get that that orange Burrow. Like, I want to get that orange Burrow real quick. And then he like panned, and I saw how the black jersey looked like from the video in HD and 4K, and I was like, ooh, nah, I gotta get that black joint too. So
Right.
I think like everybody's reaction was the same, and I think it all ended on all three of these jerseys are fire. Like all three of them, like they all bring something to the table. And it's like, I think Dan Hoard said he likes for on the field, he likes the orange and black ones, but he was like, if I were to buy a jersey, it would be the white one. Like everybody had their own like kind of thing. And I think I was watching Elizabeth, and it was like crazy because at first it was a toss up to me between which one was the hardest. And then like the more and more I kept seeing the black one, the more and more I was like, that black one is growing on me. And I think the jerseys just continue to grow on me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Dan Hoard was telling me this too. He was saying he selfishly liked, I think, the combo that you were saying. He was saying because it's going to be easier for him to identify players. That's the reason why he was saying, he was like, I think I like that one because, like, you know, like, I don't think people think about this, but during a game, you want to be able to identify like players and stuff like easier. So I always think about that. And I just thought that was like a funny little tidbit that he had.
It's funny you say that because they just passed the NFL rule for the jersey number change, like the allowing the certain players to have the single digits and stuff. So
Jesse Bates said they're going to that three. And then Jamar Chase tweeted out, said he wants that one. So it's perfect. I always like, growing up, I was a huge college football fan. So like some of my favorite players always had single digits.
Facts.
So when I got to the, you know, like started watching NFL more, I never really understood why they couldn't have like those numbers or whatever. Like, you know, like some of my number, like my favorite number on a person period, I think is like 21 or even 1. And 1 is like that number though, like, I don't know, even in basketball, like I was the biggest Penny fan. We talked about this before or whatever. Like just saying that 1 on somebody, like, I don't know. It's just
one hit's different. Yeah, one is
one
definitely
hit different. It's a couple.
The
like
crazy thing is you said 21. That's the number I wore. But you know why people wore 21? Because they really wanted to wear 2. Dion used to want to wear number 2, but he couldn't. And so that just made me think like there's gonna be mass corners wearing number 2 because the only reason Dion wore 21 is because he couldn't wear 2, but he would practice in 2. Like if you look at some of the old film, he would still have a practice jersey in 2.
But I feel like he did, like now though, he's made it so that 21 is like you can't be no slouch corner wearing 21.
Right.
Like
but I'm telling you, I feel like somebody gonna switch to 2. Some corner gonna try to switch to 2 too. Because that 2, like, yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know what time Brady was talking about, and I know this isn't Bengals related, but he was saying that he feels like it's gonna be harder to know who to block now that they have the single digits out there. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's a thing, or is that just an old school kind of mentality in thinking about the game?
Tom Brady probably got a whole different perspective on everything versus anybody else in the National Football League because for him to have the formula of success that he has, he probably does have some mental reps in his head that maybe other players aren't. I don't think it would matter to me at all, but you know, for him, he probably got different, you know what I'm saying, audibles based off of numbers and stuff. So he probably like, man, y'all throwing me all off right now. So Tom Brady, a whole different animal. Like him and Peyton Manning, they probably have a whole system based with their center, just based off of people's numbers for all we know. So he probably mad at the end of the day, but he'll overcome that. That ain't nothing for him. So that ain't. He probably just saying, you know, that right now in this moment,
right?
Come November, December, he ain't even gonna be thinking about that. Like on another Super Bowl run.
Yeah, that chase number 1 though. is gonna be live. That chase number one is probably we're gonna do some Fanatics numbers on that one.
That chase number one for the for the Bengals. You saying? I feel like because don't Tua wear one? Hold on, what does Tua wear?
Tua, I think Tua does wear one. I think you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, a lot of people not a lot of people. Somebody messaged me and said, well, if you look at the jerseys out there, he can't wear one, and they named like 3 other teams that could draft him, and he was like, he might have been telling y'all he gonna get drafted from the Bengals by saying he gonna have the number one. So you think anything on the front? Now that we got past the jerseys, I think we all feel them. I'm gonna tell you the weirdest thing about it. Because I was there and so much was going on, like I said, I done been around the world, bro. Like it was really lit, and because so much was going on, I really didn't have that much time to like take it in. Yes, I saw the jerseys. Yes, I saw them early, but then it was like, all right, Zim, we gotta go here. Okay, we gotta go there, and it wasn't really like that. Like beyond the jerseys, do you think anything else like? Was big enough to make you change that you saw that maybe you observed that maybe I didn't, that was significant enough to build momentum off of, or anything that maybe
I just thought that it was a dope moment for them to connect with the super fans like you all and have that event to make it a big celebration was, I think, something that was dope because they had the New Stripes live going with TJ and Marissa Contepelli. That was fire. I don't know if you got to check that out, but that was a dope kind of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna post some of it. I was standing right there. I
saw when you were walking.
She was like standing right there, and I was thinking to myself, like, they should probably rope her off because she was live, I think.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna photobomb her for a second. I thought you were gonna come in the background like how you see on like.
In my mind, I was like, don't get kicked out. Don't get kicked out. Don't get kicked out. That's all I kept on saying. Don't get kicked out, bro. Don't get kicked out. You almost made it.
Right. Nah, facts. But yeah, that part of it was dope. Hearing the reactions, seeing the players, like it was just like I said, and I tweeted it that day. I was like, man, I should have took the day off. It felt like it was supposed to be like a holiday or something. Like it was hard for me to really focus at work because
you didn't want to miss whatever,
it was like an event, bro. And it's like I remember when the old jerseys came out, and it wasn't like that.
And think about what they had to do without players even being there. Like that's crazy to have it that good. And like I said, I'm in the moment, I'm in the mix, so I'm not really catching wind of all of this stuff. But I can tell you this though, like I said, literally, bro, I could be like eating somewhere. Somebody be like, "Oh, Sam." It's probably people gonna have so many stories to tell about it. Like somebody, like a young kid walked at me. I cannot think of his name. He said, "Man, I'm trying to start a podcast." That I said, "Bro, roll it right now." He was like, "I don't have my cameras and stuff like that." I'm like, "You don't need cameras. Where's your phone? Let's do this right now." Like, and I was like, and then after it was done, he was like, "You know what, man? Like, I'm so happy." I'm like, bro, like you got to take that and then and work off of that. And I did that all weekend. It was like gas. Like if you saw me on live, people would be like, I say gas when I don't know if y'all catching my lingo. I say gas because my wife always says you got to take your foot off the pedal. And I'd be like, nah, give me more gas, like gas it. So like, I'm just all like I was doing a live, the reporters and stuff was like, "Hey, you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Yes, let's do it. What do you want to do? Is this live? Is this the camera? Let's go." Because I can't be having a hesitant bone in my body. And then I'm telling y'all all of this stuff about like what we're going to do or whatever. Like, so it's like, I thank everybody that watches our show and thank all the people that support us or whatever. Because I don't know if I would have the courage to do some of these things with this many famous people or whatever. I could sit back like when I was younger and just be like, you know what, I'm going to just chill and, wait it all out. But I feel like I owe it to everybody to get some more information, which leads me to my next point. Joe Burrow, I actually saw him throwing a football at Paul Brown Stadium live, 20 minutes, no limp. Nothing wrong. John Sheeran, my witness, sat right by me. We didn't say anything. I wanted to talk to John after I saw it, and and he didn't say anything to me, but I wonder, did he walk away from it the same way I felt? And I was just like, you wouldn't do it, but I didn't see not one limitation to his game. I mean, he was throwing to just anybody, like the ball boy out there or something like that.
Right.
But when he walks out, he floats. It's not like a football game where, you're going out there with your team. It's just like he's floating through the whole thing. He knows what he wants to do. I'm in a suite looking down, but I could just tell, like he directs everything with his motion. He wasn't even really talking. They knew where they had to be. He commanded every single thing. That he throw 10, 15 throws. Like, okay, now we're gonna do 15 and out. So we do that left side. Okay, boom, right side, boom. Like all right, now we're going to the next one. Like a program, like he's just been doing it like all this time or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like me seeing him on Sunday clearly wasn't his first time throwing a football like that many times. I could tell that was like something, a regiment, because everybody had 2 people catching, 2 people getting footballs and stuff like that. And it was like they already knew the drill. I'm talking like 30-yard fade routes, double moves, like anything, like these aren't world-class wide receivers he's throwing it to, but any throw that I could think of that I would want to see without him doing a rollout. He wasn't doing no rollouts. He wasn't doing anything with I think probably jeopardize his current rehab thing, but he was planting. I made a tweet and I wish I didn't write it the way I wrote it. I said, I just saw Joe Burrow throw it 50 yards off his back foot, but I was just trying to say like he's launching it. Like, and people were like, what do you mean he's not planting? Like, nah, he was planting and throwing darts like the whole time. But when he went to go throw the, like some of the longer passes, he had some, and that's the one thing I would want to ask John. I was like, did you see him plant when he would throw those or whatever? But he was just throwing, with ease, flicking back in the end zone. From the 50-yard line, hit dude in the back, like the back of the end zone. Like I witnessed that on Sunday. How many, any like 4-6 months removed from the surgery? Like the dude is incredible, bro. I mean, I've always said this. He's like a cyborg with a golden arm. Like he really is like that. When he was done, didn't even say nothing to nobody. Like I said, I can't see that far, but I could see his mouth close enough to see like if it was moving, and I could hear. Just stroll right off, and it was like it didn't even happen. It was like a myth, like a story I could tell somebody like live on Orange is the New Black podcast. It was just like something that he was like, yeah, now Zim, go tell the people this. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just walks off. Somebody comes in, I think Whitney comes back and says, oh, I say, yeah, you just missed it. I missed him that fast. They just told me he was throwing. I'm like, yeah, you missed it. Like he threw for like 20 minutes, and it was just so smooth, sweet. Out of there, and then like boom, all right, now what do we do next? He's just got this sureness with him, and I know I'm a super fan, but like I read body language a lot for a living, so like he's just got this confidence with him, and it's no secret he knew that people were there, like he knew that we were up there. He could have said, you know what, I'll wait till everybody leaves.
But he wanted to put on the show real quick, let the fans know.
I don't even think. I think it's just like, nah, this is what I do at 10:30. I looked at the clock. I say he probably does this every day at 10:15 or something like that. I think he said, nah, I'm going to do my thing. I don't care who.
Yeah, so I think we had Zim cut out for a second, but we truly appreciate you guys watching the Orange is the New Black podcast. And of course, we're going to leave you guys with a yes, sirski.
Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.